my scrapping space. I'm Joni Martin. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Southwest Wisconsin. And I'm here to share with you one of the cards I created for our In Color Club. This month we're focusing on Shy Shamrock. I can't wait to show you this card. What do you say we get my face out of the picture and we do some creating? So our In Color Club is ending. This is the last month and the last of the 5 new In Colors added when the catalog came out in May. And In Color Club members paid a fee, and each month they got all kinds of product in the color of the month. And this month it's Shy Shamrock. They also get 2 card pieces and then can follow the video or catch the direction on my blog to make the cards. If you'd like to make this card, all the supply list, all my measurements can be found on my Scrappin' with Joni blog, and it's under a title of Shy Shamrock and Unbounded Beauty Funfold. That's quite a title, isn't it? I'll get the actual link to the blog posted below. Okay, so this is the card we're going to make. We are pairing Shy Shamrock with Pretty in Pink, which is also an In Color color, new In Color. I'm not sure I would have put these 2 together, but I like how they really work. And we're using a paper pack called Unbounded Beauty. It's called a fun fold because when you open it, it doesn't open the way you used. So it's kind of fun, huh? How is that? Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is actually emboss. So when you can, this makes a great background. Embossing just adds a touch more texture. So we're going to line this up here, just like so. I'm using the Cute Crochet embossing folder, but you could use any embossing folder that gives you an overall effect. When I get my embossing folders, I add the title and which plates I need. So for this one, I need plates 1 and 4. I'm going to grab our cut and emboss machine. And plate 1, you're always going to use. That's this one. And the plate 1 also kind of gives you a recipe for whatever you're going to do. I'm going to lay this down so my Stampin' Up! Logo is on top and my fold is first. And in the Stampin' Up! System, plate 4 is the solid color one, and it's the gray one. And then we're just going to send this through. And if yours is not rolling through as smoothly as this, stop and check your sandwich. Maybe something isn't lined up. Maybe you have the wrong plates. Okay, that's all there is to that. And we went from a nice basic little white piece of paper to this. Look at that texture. Isn't that great? And that's from Cute Crochet. Again, all the supplies I used you can find on my blog. So we're going to put this here to remind us what we're doing. And then I did, especially on these top 2 layers, a multiple mat. So I had my base of Shy Shamrock, but I added that Pretty in Pink underneath whatever I was doing. So this one's going to go there. I like to kind of lay things out, and this one's going to go here. Now, when you have an embossed piece, my go-to adhesive is always a tape runner. It's less messy, it's quicker for me. But when I have this much embossing on here, I'm going to instead grab some liquid glue. The tape runner could just kind of sit on the top of all that embossing, and it's just not going to adhere as tight. And we don't want to make a beautiful card and have someone get the pieces in the mail instead of the card staying intact. And then we're just going to line this up on here. And then this piece is going to go on here. And again, like I said, my go-to is usually a tape runner. Isn't that a pretty color? This paper pack is gorgeous, and it features all 5 of the new In Colors. So we've had a lot of fun using it. And this was a print I hadn't used yet. But there's a number of prints in there that include all the colors that you could do that with. Okay, so here's our 2 front pieces. This is not a typical standard card. And again, the measurements and the score lines are on my blog. So we're going to fold this piece in half. And when you're doing a fun fold, especially, you want to make sure that you have nice tight folds. So there's that one. And then this one, also gets a nice tight fold. And we're going to attach this long piece to this one right here. This is a great fun fold. I've done it in Christmas prints, just all kinds of things. I like it for a couple reasons. It lets me kind of mix prints or textures on a card without being too hard, because you have really two places for it. And my mom loved to get cards. She loved to send cards, but she had a rule. If the card didn't stand up on her fireplace, it wasn't really a card. So some of these fun folds really aren't meant to stand up. That wouldn't have worked for my mom. So this is a fun fold, but you can also make it stand up. So then it counts as a card. So then on the inside, because we're going to do that piece. You don't usually do it this soon on, but I'll show you. We're going to do that next. I'm going to add a strip of the paper from the front there. There we go. Now I'm not going to stamp this one because I'm not sure. It would be a nice thinking of you, get well soon. This one, I made a birthday card. That looks good too. There's lots of things you can do with it. And then we're going to trim it. And we want to do this step next because it helps us as we add that second fold. So I know I want to see this on the inside, right? I don't want to see it here because that's a bit of a distraction when I have this over the top. Yeah, that's really a distraction. So I want to make sure it's going this way. But before I attach it, this little piece is going to slip right in here, because then when I attach this card insert, it's holding everything in place. So I honestly kind of eye it, but if it bothers me that it's not exactly in the center, I move it very close to the top. So you know I didn't mean for it to be centered. Either one is fine. But I'm going to attach this cardstock before I put the card front on. And I'm probably going to work on centering it. That's another reason I love this glass mat, because it has the grid on it. And we're about halfway on each side. We're going to call that good. And I'm now just going to put adhesive on this little tab that goes there. Okay, so we have this. Now we're going to put this in our card. And again, if you want to make it a birthday or a thinking of you, you could do that before you do this. I don't know what it's going to be, but it will be easy to add the stamp sentiment on the inside. And that's going to go here, kind of centered. Now the reason we do that first is because sometimes this has a sentiment or something on, and you don't want to attach this until you know which way it's going to go. And trust me, I know from experience, we did this in a team meeting and a couple of us got it on upside down, and then we had to kind of do a lot of backing up and tearing off. It's just easier to attach this than do this piece. And look how quick and easy that is. Really nothing to it. There we go. Now at this point, I'm going to add a butterfly. But you could add a sentiment, you could just add some bling, but look at this very pretty butterfly. These butterflies would be easy to miss in the catalog, especially if you're looking for pink ones, because they aren't pink. They're white, and white on white would be beautiful, but I'll show you what to do if you want color. They come in a sheet, and I just store them in a retired stamp case so they don't get everywhere. Looking to see if I have a full sheet to share with you. Can you tell I love these? Here. Well, maybe I don't. Oh my gosh. Our In Color, there we go. Our In Color Club people got a full sheet. So there. So, and you get a number of these sheets in there. They are called paper butterflies, I think. But again, they're listed in my blog post. So I used this one on there, but let's see what this one looks like. We don't have to always do everything the same. Ooh, I think I kind of like that larger butterfly there. You're going to have to think about where you put it so his antennas don't get, yep. What do we think, guys? Should we do that? Sure. Okay, so now white on white, I like white on white, but in this case it kind of gets lost. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab our blends. You could also use your markers, and my In Color Club members also have a marker. And I chose Pretty in Pink because that's my matte, and I think I'm going to go with the light. But if I don't like it, I can go back over it with dark. Our blends are alcohol markers. They dry quickly. They have a brush end and a bullet end. I'm going to use the brush end. And I'm just going to add some color. Now, for someone like myself who doesn't color at all, look how easy this is. Nothing to it. And I'm just quickly running this. And if you want it darker, or those of you who are really talented at shading, you could add the dark too. I know one of my In Color members was here and said how much she enjoyed coloring the butterfly. Really, folks, coloring is not my thing. There's other ways you could do this. You could grab a dauber. You could use a blending brush. That would have been a good idea. Something to think of when we color for In Color Club next year is to include blending brushes in their packets. Yeah. There we go. But see how fast it goes? For someone who doesn't like to color, this is pretty tolerable. Just like that. And it's not the same saturation all the way through. That's probably as much a reflection of my coloring, but we can just say, you know, nothing in nature is the same all the way through too. There we go. Now, one of the things I love about this glass mat is I have just a touch of color that landed on there. And the glass mat comes with this nice large chamois. And you probably can't even see it, but I can see I have a little bit. And I just want to get it off of there so I don't pick it up on the back of a card. Okay, so here's my butterfly. Notice the difference in color. This one I did with the dark blends. This one I did with the light one. And you know what? I like both of them. I'm going to attach this butterfly just by the body so that the wing, yeah, I know it won't in the envelope, but so that the wing can stand up just a touch. Ooh, I like that butterfly. Now, you could use glue dots. You could use mini dimensionals, or I think I'm going to use just a touch of the liquid glue. There we go. Just like that. And the other reason for me to use the liquid glue is I can kind of move it around till I get where I want it, because again, I don't want that antennae to come out over the edge of the card because he'll get crushed in the envelope. Oh, look at that, folks. Look at that pretty butterfly. Now, I added, just to bring the Shy Shamrock back in, and I think it adds some interest, some Shy Shamrock blend, or bling. And these are called, actually they're gems. 24, 26 In Color Shimmer Gems. They have all 5 of the In Colors in there. I'm going to grab the Shy Shamrock ones, but you could really use any of them, especially because there's so many there. And I'm going to use 3 because that's what I'm comfortable with. And there we go. Let's put one. Let's put one right up here. When I do embellishments, I tend to do odd numbers, typically 3, and 3 of them go in a roughly triangular shape. It's just a little more pleasing. I started as a scrapbooker, and that was something we were taught as we lined up elements on our scrapbook page. Now, roughly triangular simply means there's one element by itself and 2 are closer together. Oh, look at that. And how easy was that? And it's just kind of nice to have a different fold once in a while. Now, we know that we're not going to send this beautiful card in this ho-hum blah naked envelope, are we? Nope. So the kit also included an envelope flap, which is just a scrap of paper. It's 2 1/4 by 6, but remember, all my numbers, supply list, everything will be there. And this is larger than my envelope flap, so the glue is going on the smaller piece. It just saves us glue where we don't want it. Less picking up that way, less cleaning up, less glue getting where it doesn't belong. And I have a narrow strip of glue all the way around the envelope. Then This does not really have an up and a down, which is really nice because then you can just plop it down. If your paper has a certain direction, the top of the paper should be this way, right here. And I'm just kind of holding up this envelope, the body of the envelope, to act as a wall to push against. And then we're just going to trim. And just like that, we went from blah, naked envelope to oh so pretty. Someone's going to get this in the mail and will be like, I can't wait to open that one. I wonder what it is. It's a beautiful envelope. And this is one of the In Color clubs we made for Shy Shamrock this month. If you have any questions, check out all the information on my blog. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it more than you know. If you liked what you saw, please share it with your crafty friends, or maybe your crafty wannabe friends. This would be a great way to get them started. Until next time, take care and keep crafting. It's good for you.